Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be taking a look at Commander Wolffe from the 3 3/4 inch line of Star Wars Black Series figures. This guy is really cool, but before we take a closer look at him, let's go ahead and take a look at his packaging. Just like all of the other figures that have been released in the 3 3/4 inch Black Series, it's just got a TIE Fighter pilot here on the back, and on the back here, it's got a brief description of the character. If you'd like to read that, you can go ahead and just pause the video. And then down here, it's got a grayscale photo of the character here, which is really cool. But anyway, it's pretty standard, so let's go ahead and get back to the figure itself. Commander Wolffe here stands at 3 7/8 inches tall, which makes him look really small compared to the other clones. Let me grab another one here. As you can see, he is a lot shorter, and that doesn't really make any sense because they're all identical for the most part. All their armors are different, but they should all be about the same height. But this guy is really short for some reason. I don't know why they did that, but they did. It's not a huge deal, but just something that's worth noting. And he does come with a couple accessories here. The first one is his removable backpack. There's some nice detail on there and some paint work. The hose is a different color of white. It's kind of an off-white, opposed to the body here, which is just pure white. So that's a nice detail that they added there. And it just pushes into a little peg, or a little peg hole on the back, and stays on there very nicely. And then he also comes with two of these smaller clone blaster pistols. There's no paintwork on them or anything, but the detail on them is nicely done, so I don't really mind. And of course, these do fit into the holsters on his belt here. We do that on camera. There we go. And he does come with two of them, like I said. As far as articulation goes on this guy, overall it's fairly good, but I have one major problem with it that I'll talk about here in a second. So he's got a ball peg in the head, and just because of the design of the helmet, it doesn't look up, which is not a huge deal. It does everything else that you would want it to, but it doesn't quite look up. It's got ball hinge shoulders with a pretty decent range of motion, and of course they do swivel 360. He's got hinged elbows with a swivel, so nice range of motion there. And then he's got a hinge in the wrist, and on this side it's going vertically, and on the other side it is also going vertically. So and on both of those also swivel as well. This guy has a very, very well hidden diaphragm joint. You can hardly even tell it's there. And it doesn't offer the greatest range of motion, but it serves as, it gives him a little bit forward and back, a little bit side to side, and then of course it swivels. So I think it does for the most part its job. And then we have some very nicely done soft goods. Honestly, this is how soft goods should be done on a figure. These look great, so glad that they added those. And then my problem with this figure is his hips. They decided to do a hinge in them with a swivel, and I believe these are called Y-jointed hips, and they're awful. They're really awful. As far as like how they work, they let them kick out to the side great. They can let them kick forward even though it's out to the side, and they go back. And I know a lot of people really like these, but I absolutely hate them. Mainly because if you try and kick the leg forward, it pushes the kneecap off to the side, and then you have to use the swivel at the knee here to bring it back. And then, of course, it's not sculpted to move that way anymore, so you get a better range of motion when the kneecap is lined up with the shin. So I don't know why they didn't just put swivels on these or do a thigh swivel, which basically eliminates that problem. But they did it anyway, and it's not so bad that I would say don't buy the figure, but it's just something that I really hate when they do that. He does have a hinged knee, like I mentioned, and of course it does swivel. And then he's got hinged ankles with a really great range of motion. You could get this guy into a ton of poses with those ankles. So overall, I would say that I like this figure. Like I said, the hips aren't so bad that it makes them worth, not worth it. And I think he is a little bit small, but honestly, the sculpt work and everything on there and the soft goods really make up for all those problems there. So if you like the clones or you like Commander Wolffe, this is probably a figure that's worth picking up, but not for $15. Like all of the other 3 3/4 inch Black Series figures, these guys are way overpriced. So if you want this guy, I would just wait and try and find him for under $10 because that's what I think. That's what I think these figures are worth. So anyways, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.